Welcome back to another episode of Bridging the Gap. So, first topic, there's a lot of buzz. Lori Harvey just did an interview with Tiana Taylor. Um, she was discussing her dating life, which has been getting a lot of attention since she's been in the dating world. And she had a couple points that she felt very strong about, especially when it comes to dating and what she wants out of dating. She actually
Mhm.
revealed that she was engaged or she was thinking about getting married at a young age. And she went through a bunch of different relationships, and she basically was saying those relationships weren't serving her, or she wasn't able to live the life that she wanted in those relationships, and she wanted to live life. um I guess from my perspective, someone being older, it's a little I'm taken back by it, but I get it because I think most women or modern women have this type of mentality. I think because she's around maybe 24 to 25.
Oh yeah, let me ask you a
Around
question real fast.
go ahead.
So you think a lot of women have that mindset regardless of age?
Yes,
Okay.
until they run out of options. That's the key.
Mhm. Okay.
Because right now she's young and she believes she has all these years and all these options, which she does. She does.
Mhm.
I think the dangerous thing in that is a lot of women are adopting this philosophy, but they don't have the same assets that she has. Right? She's rich. Steve Harvey's her father. She is beautiful. So her window may be a little bit longer than the average woman. So
Right.
she does have that going for her. But it's a dangerous philosophy. Now, why I'm not surprised because she starts off an interview saying she has brothers, so she know how that goes. So my first takeaway is you can't move like a man does. Because
Right.
if you're thinking like that, it's already a lost cause. Because you're trying to move how a man moves, and I'm not on board with that. So what that allows you to do, but also keep in mind why her brothers are moving a certain way is who's her father. We're talking about Steve Harvey. We're talking about Mr. Loves Women that everybody goes to, and this man's been married 3 times.
Right.
So what type of I know he wants to act like he's a guru when it comes to dating and marriage, but you're not, and I don't know why someone's listening to someone who's been married 3 times.
That's another
Someone who's been
conversation.
cheating on like known and admitted that like you're a cheater, you're a liar. So why are you? I mean, of course, he has a certain fan base that he's trying to appease, and people just need to wake up when it comes to that type of stuff. But I'm not surprised that this person, his children are following suit. I don't know the
Right.
sons, but if basically if she's getting that from the sons, but more importantly, she's really getting how to move from her father. A daughter should be watching the father on how the father moves because a I would think most daughters in a healthy family want someone who's like their father.
Right.
That's the conception I have, and maybe I could be wrong. But keep this in mind, right? Dude's been married 3 times, in and out of relationships, cheating, blah blah blah. Okay, you have a daughter, and her perception is, well, my brothers move around, so that's what I'm going to do too. Now, my I think a big problem with me is she found somebody that actually, wanted to marry her. Now, okay, she might have been young, right? She might have been, but there's this I don't know. In our community, where the women are taught to go to school, get an education, live your life, then try to pursue a family. In other cultures, they go to college to meet their husband and
Mm.
start building then. Uh like I I want to reference something that she also said in there, emphasizing that she is not willing to compromise her integrity for love. Harvey underscored that she holds her values, standards, and requirements to a high level, right?
Okay.
But guess what? You dated Puffy, you dated Future, and you dated Trey Songz. That's high value. Are we really going to play this game? Like, you really have these high standards. Puffy's older than me, and I wouldn't deal with her age wise. You understand? You know what that is. That's strictly physical. And I want to say this, that anyone who believes, all right, her whole thing was she didn't want to be married because she wanted to experience life. She wanted to grow. How can you not experience life, and how can you not grow if you're married? There's only one thing you can't do that most people do anyway, but there's only one thing. And I'm
Right.
sorry, the nicest way I can say it, you kind of want to be a hoe. There's nothing in between, because you want to jump from guy to guy. That's all.
Right.
That's all that means. Because you can travel when you're married. You can see the world. You can grow as a person. The only thing you can't do is sleep with multiple men. So you can't sit there and say high quality and you have this high integrity when your whole purpose is you don't want to be married. You want to have that hot girl summer, but like I said, the danger in that is she can afford that and she can be this longer than most people. Now, the average chick on the street, unfortunately, is going to adopt that mentality too. And that's why I think a lot of people in our community and our culture have that mentality. And then come 30, 40 years old, after you all this mileage, now you want to try to get married. But the guy is looking at you like, a man worth something is not looking at you as wifey at that point. That's a liability. That's not an asset.
At 35 or
Start well. I don't want to put a straight age on it, but I'm saying, after you reach a certain age, you start looking at things a little differently. But
okay.
but that's my perspective. Someone being older that's lived and looking back on things, you're actually close to her age, and you chose to get married at a younger age. Do you understand where she's coming from? And from your viewpoint on your age and where you are in the culture, does that seem like the norm, or am I tripping? Like, what's your take on that?
You're not tripping. I feel like it's just the typical worldly view on things, the typical fleshly, feelings, and she's just driving on that.
Mm,
Because just going back to what she said about her brothers, like she grew up around brothers. Okay. Now, it's clear that she grew up around a negative influence on her brothers. And who does that start with? That starts with the head of the family, the
mm,
father.
yep.
Like you were just alluding to, like if she's seeing how her brothers move around, then that teaching, that fear of God is not in that family, no matter how much anyone tries to portray that they follow God or they're a Christian. You'll
Mm,
you'll you'll see it in the fruits that they bear.
hmm
You don't got to do too much talking with that. It's just going to show, and
Yep.
clearly it's not showing. So,
hmm
um, now to her point, what I kind of agree on is that she is still young.
hmm
She has every right to, want what she want out of a relationship, just like how everybody has a right to want what they want out of a relationship.
Yep.
Um, but putting myself in her position, I was around that. I was feeling how she felt around like 21, 22. And I could just tell you that, it's just nothing but flush. That's it.
Yeah.
Because in other cultures, they marry young. So it's really no excuse from that standpoint. It's just what her priorities are on, what her priorities is in life, and that she value and respect herself enough, and that she value and respect God enough. That's what it boils down to.
But I mean, single women, they can do whatever they want and not be looked at a certain way, right? I mean,
No, and it's like you said, like to some degree, she's young, she's rich, she can kind of afford, that in a way, right? But your typical woman who's like 30, 35, pushing 40,
Mhm.
um, that played or get played mindset,
Mm.
that's a trash mindset.
Wow.
Because you
Yeah.
remember she said, going back to her brothers, watching her brothers thing, um, that shows me like, all right, if she looking at how her brothers move, she gonna try to beat the guy to the punch of not getting played. She's gonna play you, or she's gonna have her head on leaving you first.
Right.
She,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was about to say she just automatically going into a situation with her defense mechanism on.
And it's cool. I guess to like, no one knows relationships because, you get one side and there's always like three sides, they say, to a story. But she was telling a story about like Michael B. Jordan that like one day she was just talking to him that she's never been to like a farmer's market or something. He called her up, like, let's go. Like he just surprised her with it and just took her. Like this is what's crazy is these are the things that women dream of having. You know what I mean? It's and I think the problem with that and in our community is these women have encountered good men in their lives,
Hmm.
but they wanted to run around or they just didn't appreciate that good man because he ain't had that swag or he wasn't thug or you know what I mean? But they've all had that. And this is the problem. Now when they become 35 to 40 and older, now they're begging for that man that they put to the side because he wasn't exciting enough. So that's now she may regret that, or she may not. Like I said, she has different options than most people. The average woman will regret that type of move because I'm guarantee you most of the women in their 20s have been approached by nice guys, but they don't want them because they're too nice.
you
Or
know,
they're not drama. They're not toxic. They don't have that swag. They're not in the street. There's something about that which I never really got. It's always, and this is almost going off on a side tangent. It's funny. I always encounter like chicks that were from like the suburbs. You know what I mean? Would
yeah.
come and say some dude ain't hood enough. Like, yo, who are you? You know what I mean? Like that always like how you not clown her? It's like
Right. I mean, I think it's just a thrill of it. It's
I,
just,
I get it to a certain extent. You know, it's all fun and games till the guns come out. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. Like, so let me ask you this: like, do you think a big part of that is the music industry and how the men, how they rap about women, what kind of woman they want, and vice versa, the woman rapping and what kind of guys they want? Like, to me, I think that plays a huge influence on the dating scene right now, especially in our community. But what you think?
I think art imitates life. I think music is just reflecting what's going on in the culture. Um, I think they both influence each other.
Okay.
Um, I mean, all right, I sound old, but most music today to me is trash. Like I
I
can't
mean, it is.
having the radio on, and for, most people don't understand it, but I always say if you got a kid in the car or your mom in the car, can you just let the radio play? And if you can, then you have no standards because I got to constantly keep switching between stations because the songs are
Yeah,
just grotesque now.
right.
Um, but I think, yeah, I think the music just reflects what's going on. Like it's what it is. It's toxic, and toxic is hot right now. Like that's the trend.
Mhm.
That's the vibe. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's sick, but it is what it is.
Right.
And I don't see that changing anytime soon.
That's the sad part.
Yeah. Um like the guys they may be talking about a certain, certain type of chicks or, hold them down, this, that, and the third. That's cool. And the women, I can honestly tell you this. I think the female rappers are worse than the males. There's not one female rapper that I can keep the radio on, to keep the station on. Like not one. I'm trying to tell you.
I think I think it's both. The reason why I say that, I get
Mhm,
where you coming from because it's a woman at the end of the day. Like you don't really expect a woman to be having a foul mouth like that,
yeah.
and just talking about their private part and just stuff like that. But
Yeah.
on the flip side of that, it's just like a double standard in my opinion. Like
Mhm.
it's cool for guys to rap about whatever, how much, well, how many girls they get, what they do with
Mhm.
the girls, flaunting money. It's cool for guys to do that in this society, but at the end of the day, everything starts with us. Like we are made in God's image. So if we don't set that example of like what's cool and what's not, like who the woman gonna follow?
True, right? But the man that is following that, they're not gonna they're not gonna like promote that dude. No one's gonna talk about the guy that's doing what he needs to do. Like that's not sexy. That doesn't sell. It exists, but it does it we can't market that because that helps the culture. Keeping the culture where it is profitable.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think you can just say the woman is like it's both parties play a role in that.
Oh wait, no, let me clear this up. I'm not
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying the male rappers are better. What I'm saying is
Mm.
next time you're in your car, I just want you to listen. The female rappers, all they're talking about is straight like sex. Son's in the car. I can't let any of those songs play.
I
I
get
can
what
let a
you're
male rapper play
yeah.
because they're not talking about strictly that. They may talking about being the best rapper or getting getting girls, but not too vulgar. What I'm saying is the
Right.
women rappers are strictly crazy vulgar where I can't let this play.
I see. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. I'm not saying no, I'm not saying like one is better than the other, but at least there's a more content. Uh, I don't. There's just more that's being talked about in the garbage male rappers than the female rappers. That's all I'm saying. I'm definitely not saying putting any more on female rappers than male rappers. Literally, Cardi, come on, I got turned. Megan, I got turned. This other chick, I don't even know who she like. I was just like, what the like 2 minutes in the song is like I can't listen. No, I got to turn the station.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all
I know
I'm
what you're talking
on
about
that
now.
front.
Yeah, I agree.
Like if they were just rapping, cool, but it's literally that from jump. I'm like, yo, I can't. And I don't know where our standards have just gone that you can't like back when I was coming up, even with rap, everybody could listen to just let it play on Power 99.
Hmm.
Mom, dad in the car, grandma could be in the car. It's all good.
Right.
Nowadays, it's like, man, I just gotta put on the oldie station. That's all. That's the safe genre. That's all I can do right now.
That's
But
funny.
okay,
So
so you kind of, so you see where Lori's coming from.
I see where she coming from, but I don't to conclude what I'm trying to say. I don't really agree with her. Like I understand because I was, we're not far in age. What is she, 23, 24?
24, 25. I can't remember. Right
Yeah,
in that
I mean,
range. Yeah.
yeah. And like I said, when I was 21, 22, I had that mindset too. So I get where she coming from, but
Right.
at the same time, I don't necessarily agree with it. It's just more so like a worldly view.
True. And I think that's an important thing they're trying to stress, right? it's not really about Lori. It's about the mentality of young women nowadays.
Hmm.
This isn't just strictly on her. It's us as a community
Hmm.
where we shouldn't be glorifying. We shouldn't be glorifying the behavior in males, and we definitely shouldn't be glorifying it in women
Hmm.
because it's not cool and it's kind of blatant. You can like the whole aspect of I want to experience life and I want to grow. There's only one thing you can do. There's only one thing you can't do if you're married. There's
Right.
only one thing, and that's all it comes down to. And once again, I'm you're not going to tell me high standards and whatever, and you're dealing with Future and Puffy. I'm sorry.
I think too, like her saying she want to grow and stuff like that. Like it could just be to like misconception that she feel like she just can't do that in marriage when she really can. It's just probably this notion, like, and it's a lot of people that think like this. I thought like this myself at a time.
Hmm.
Like I got to be a certain way first before I get married, or I want to be at this point in life, or I want to have this certain growth before I even thinking about marriage. When in all reality, that's really not the case.
That's a fair point, but
So,
that's definitely a different perspective on it, and I actually, yeah, I can agree with that if that's the case, right?
right.
Because I know as a man, I always said I want to be in a certain financial situation
Hmm.
before I got married because I want to be able to take care of everything if need be.
Right.
Um, so I get that. I understand, get that if that's the case,
Right.
but I don't know if that's the case by the comments. That's all I'm saying.
I guess I just threw that out there for the her benefit of the doubt.
No, I know you trying to be soft on them. That's cool. Somebody got to. That's what's up though. But once again, future. That's all future does. Come on now. No.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, you make a point with that too. So, just naming the guy she been with.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really what people say, it's what they do, right? So you
Right.
can say what you want to say, but let me look at your action, and
Hmm.
1 + 1 is not equaling 2. That's all I'm saying.